Standing by the ambulatory in the Church of Saint Foy, located in Conques, France. This church was an important site for several reasons, the most important being that it was a part of the pilgrimage of St. James, during which pilgrims would stop in the church and bask in its holiness, receiving blessing.
The main feature of this church is its cruciform plan. The church is composed of two main parts, the nave and the apse. The nave is the longer portion, containing rows of pews, while the apse was the shorter end, containing 5 smaller chapels, radiating off to the sides.
When the pilgrims entered the church, they would be greeted by a relief carving depicting the iconic Last Judgment.
In the center of the carving, Christ as judge sits enthroned, and he means business. He sits enthroned with his right hand pointing upwards towards the saved, with his left hand pointing downwards towards the damned.
This scene would have served as a warning to those entering the church to remember the joys of heaven and the torments of hell. On both sides of Christ are biblical figures. Mary, Peter, and several saints are depicted. Below them, a small arcade is covered by a pediment representing those who have been saved by Christ and will remain in paradise with him.
What really drove these masses and masses of people to the church was the reliquary of Saint Foy. It held the remains of Saint Foy, who was viewed as a martyr for refusing to sacrifice for pagan gods and being condemned to death as a result.
Saint Foy was an immensely popular saint in southern France, and her relic was of extreme importance to the church, bringing pilgrims and wealth to the isolated town of Conques, France.
She's covered in gemstones donated by pilgrims over time.
Even more interesting is her face, which is thought to have originally been the head of a statue of a Roman child.
This reuse of older materials in new forms is known as spolia, and made the object more important by relating it to the past riches of the Roman Empire.
This is really characteristic of Romanesque art,
especially during the 11th century, during which the church was built.